knows his chances.
I've done this 15 years. I don't know what I'm gobsmacked. I don't know what to say.
A man's best friend is a cat. Dog.
I think it's a cat.
Dog. It's a cat.
Man's best friend is a cat.
Dog. Cat. Dog. Big silence. A big tasty.
Get ready with up to 40% off the Amazon Spring Sale. So, whether it's a new adventure, getting all glammed up, or heading back on the road, whatever you're getting ready for, save big with the Amazon Spring Sale. Ends March 31st.
Icelandic roads are not for the faint-hearted, but you promised. Today we'll cycle to school, not drive. You won't let her down, will you? Keep going, man of your word. Our last year, high-protein, fat-free Icelandic-style yogurt.
When you run a business, you run with unknowns. You run with fresh start. Restart. Starts you never thought possible. And when you find what works, the future is yours to shape.
The dual sensation and the fragrance switches to water lily. Amazing, isn't it? But
Yes, but there's a blue way.
blue fragrance switch with every flush. Green apple scent switches to water lily. Keeps the toilet sensationally clean and fresh. It's gonna be a hit. Next generation toilet freshener only from Blue.
At Iceland this Easter, choose from a succulent selection of roasting joints. Only £10 each for gammon, beef or lamb, in store and online. At Iceland.
In all the years I've known Evans, I've never seen him so happy.
I like it. Well, you should come in. You'd love it.
And so I did. And so he did.
I mean, I didn't say yes immediately.
It took him about 5 seconds.
So how's it going?
Really, really well, thanks. That's the 3rd time this week.
Chris Evans at breakfast. Graham Norton at the weekend. Virgin Radio.
It all started with one man, Filippo Belli. His signature, Our Promise.
I'm not confused. But he's about to be in a big way. A huge box I found online turned out to be a little underwhelming. I'm not confused. I'm confused.com. Get what you bargained for with confused.com rewards.
KFC flavoured crisps. It's a no-brainer. So why did it take us so long? Sometimes spotting something obvious takes a while. Even if it's something staring us right in the face. Something that just makes perfect sense. Walker's Max KFC.
Join farmers up and down the country for the most exciting week of the year.
Springtime is really busy.
Bringing newborns into the world.
The gang are back for the return of springtime on the farm. Transistor Monday at 8 on Channel 5. Also stream on Wi-Fi.
Around 100,000 vehicles are stolen each year. And in the past 5 years, vehicle thefts in England and Wales have risen by 50%.
You've just been at me.
Been upstairs removing a tooth and then brushing the teeth.
You moved your tooth.
It was hanging off, so I had to get it was hanging off by like one bit, so it was
Where is it?
it's in the bin.
In that bag?
Yeah.
We'll put it out in the bin, please.
Sorry, it's not like got bubonic plague or anything, you know.
Well, you don't know. You're going out for cigarettes? Yeah. Daft. Infection.
Are you coming or not? I'm not waiting.
Don't need, yeah. Just come in. Because she says there's no point in me anaesthetising it and taking it out, it's just going to come out.
So it just aggravates the circumstances, and ultimately for this, like, it just makes the situation, even worse for them, really. Okay. Alright, no problem. Alright. Speak to you later. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, thanks very much for your help. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Leaving Matt to quiz the neighbours on what might have happened.
Why didn't you just go and get his own wallet? Why give it to someone else? Ask him to get his wallet out of his car. That don't seem to make sense. Yeah, that rings.
I don't think we'd be friends. Well, my friends will do that, so,
No, I can drink.
you know.
Yeah, I'm alright, thanks.
Right, yes, you're all sorted. Nice one. Thanks very much. I'll get out of your way now. Right, take care. Cheers.
6,000 alcohol-related crashes happen in the UK every year.
People need to understand that getting behind the wheel of a car drunk, it can affect not just them. License and Do you understand that? Keep blowing, you need to blow. Blow, no mate, you're not blowing. Blow. Just 1 second, mate. When you start to go, you will look there. So you need to give it 1 continuous breath. So the limit's 35 and you're blowing 36. It makes no difference how much you have to do. You will know that this is the limit. So what's going to happen there is I'll take you to Chippenham police station and then we'll machine and evidential machine. It's the screening on that, so it's not as what the machine is. The police station also
It's been 45 minutes to an hour since you provided that sample. You won't have gone up. If you're blowing this machine, you'll probably be under the limit. I don't want you to lose your driving licence and you seem like a decent youth and you don't need to be doing. Okay, you've got 45 seconds left. Provide the sample. Trust me, you need to try and provide the sample. So just sit for a minute, take a big deep breath. And a long steady blow. Alright. Just try and blow it really solid.
There's a certain time period in which you're required to provide 4th and 10th, and I warned him that he needed to play a lot longer than here.
You're gonna go for a movie, 4K screen, OLED because the pixels are separate.
Yes, I am a real human being. Video call the tech experts. Shop live at Curry's PC World.
Every bottle of Ribena. For this one, spare a purple wax of it.
Andrew, right? Let's get these berries up to the presser, shall we?
Sorry, Janet. Right away, on that.
Why?
Because we get to it, drivers.
You should see a play cool.
Ask the click and collect. Order the big shop online, they get you ready. And pack them in for them. I wonder the online supermarket every year, that's the price.
If you think this is bonkers, some people sell their car without getting a free quote in under 60 seconds at WeBuyAnyCar.com. I mean, why would you do that? You've got nothing to lose. To find out how much your car's worth in 60 seconds, enter your reg number now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Aldi is the budget supermarket that has conquered Britain.
Aldi's USP is quality but dead cheap.
And at Easter, it goes to war.
This is a battle to see which supermarket will dominate.
Take a behind-the-scenes look at Aldi's Easter Secrets. Tonight at 9 on Channel 5. Also stream on My 5.
In the UK, 1 in 54 motorbikes are stolen.
Hello, Tango 46. Yeah, just take this rich plate down for me.
Stu Smith's on night patrol, checking out suspicious mopeds buzzing around North Derby.
These youths making a quick bit of money, stealing a motorbike, they'll strip it for bits, or they'll be just messing about with it. It's a crime of opportunity. They've seen it, they've pinched it, and they'll sell it to a mate for a short bit of money. Yeah, it's heading that direction. I think it's just someone going out.
This time, the bike's legit.
It's registered down here.
But Stu's search continues.
Report to the two-vehicle RTC and start travelling immediate response now.
Hey, from 46, could you just relay the information to me again about this collision?
Stu will have to abandon his bike patrol.
Been a collision on the A38 on Queensway. The road's blocked. I think that's all we know at this point. People have been chucking stuff off the top of the bridge here. Because if you can see where all the debris is in relation to the bridge.
No one's been injured, but Stu's convinced that the crash was caused by missiles being thrown into the road.
Bits of dead wood. That's out of a skip or something that someone's getting rid of. That's a conifer. Now that's something you'd find in someone's garden. Because that's not something you have at the side of the carriageway. They chucked it off the side of the road here.
There were a branch, a big like fern or something in the road. Someone swerved out to get out of the way because it just looked like a shadow at first. Swerved out of the way, and then the woman would just come up at the side.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile.
No, that's not something you find on the side of the carriageway. Big piece of concrete.
We will be taking off soon. Be prepared.
Sevmenler, karşıladı dikmenler. Atamızı sevmenler.
Müziği kısa konuş.
Cumaçı araya gelsin. Türk.
Cumaçı.
Cumaçı ara bak uçak geçiyor hemen atlayın hadi.
Tamam hadi görüşürüz.
It's always frustrating when you get away. Go down those two bikes are stolen, and they're going out to make them these areas here, there's wooden posts all over the place. You don't want to run over a branch and wreck the car. So we'll see if they've dumped the bikes nearby. Positive, because we've had that little episode just then, they're probably going to stop riding around for tonight. Hopefully.
You know, people will do things, you know, to get away. Probably a fight or flight sort of thing where people just run off. You know, trying to evade capture that way. It's just they don't want to face up to their actions.
We are seeing a bigger increase in people taking more risks to their own lives than everyone else's in an effort to get away. It's crazy. There's no thought behind it. It's just stupidity.
In this episode,
Taking selfies.
the two young men riding the stolen moped stunned by Stu Smith
Decap, 2 running.
before running away
They've gone, mate, I'm gonna get them.
have never been found.
Yeah, past Lee Road, Black Road, bike in blue with single rider, no helmet.
The unlucky man who was subsequently caught in a pursuit remains under investigation for theft of a motorbike, failing to stop the police, and dangerous driving.
For the minute you're obtained, suspicion of theft of a motorbike.
The man suspected of stealing a car and evading capture from Dan Mitchell was charged with 16 offences, including car theft, assault of a police officer, dangerous driving, and possession of a knife.
Hey, from 2 now, I've had tactical contact with vehicle.
His case is currently under psychiatric review by the courts.
I understand this is your car. Yeah, but obviously your mate was driving. Is that right? What do you mean apparently so?
The drunk joyrider, who took his friend's car without his permission, pleaded guilty. He received a community order, unpaid work, and was disqualified from driving for 16 months. Some of the Gola, and the driver who failed to give an evidential breath test was found guilty of court, fined £120, and banned from driving for a year.
Covering Churchill's early political career during World War I. Now brand new series continues with The Long Grass Friday at 9. And tonight, taking on
Mystery Baby in the new season of NCIS with Seeds of Violence.
I'm not going to let you fall into a trap of really winding me up.
My little daughter can do better than this. You're making diddly squat.
This is coming across really woolly. Please give me a bit of magic.
Give me. Let me put this through. I am having fun. It's brilliant.
I've done it at anybody before it's something relatively.
Dragon's Den starts Thursday at 8 on BBC One and iPlayer.
Syndicate is back for a new series tomorrow at 9 on BBC One, and there's plenty of money around. Now, always great to be back in the kitchen in the name.
It's the MasterChef semi-finals. After 4 weeks of intense competition, 40 home cooks have been whittled down to the best 10.
I could do with a grated pea.
Yay!
Can't believe I'm back for the semi-finals. Now I'm up against the best of the best, and I just want to take it up a notch.
I didn't realize up till this point that I wanted it this much.
The things that we spend our time doing should ignite a passion in us, and this competition has definitely done that to me.
Rolling up my sleeve ready to fight against the other contestant.
It's just beyond my wildest dreams to actually be here, given the years that we're all going through, to be perfectly honest.
Tonight, the first group of 5 return. They'll have to impress one of Britain's top chefs for the right to cook in their first professional kitchen.
cooked some amazing food so far in this competition. From here on in, they're going to have to wow. One mistake could prove costly. Get it wrong right now, you're out. Welcome to the MasterChef semi-final. You've done incredibly well. We need you to keep on delivering. We want from you a star dish. A dish that you would be proud to put on your menu in a restaurant, to publish in a cookbook, or put in a pop-up. You have 1 hour and 45 minutes to cook for us extraordinary food. Because at the end of this, 3 of you will be continuing your journey in MasterChef, but sadly, 2 of you will be going home. Ladies and gentlemen, let's cook. This is about aspiration. This is about them dreaming that they're going to make a name for themselves in the industry. They have to put their stamp on it. Stefan's an architect and he constructs food. He loves the process and he loves to do lots of them. Some of these constructions are a little bit odd, but somehow or another it worked.
Being an architect does help. It does also put relative, I suppose, amount of pressure on my placing. People will be expecting me to make pretty food. Key to me today is to get the flavours right. But I would like to make something beautiful.
What's the dish, please?
So it's inspired by 2 of my loves. City and urbanism and ecology. So my plate today is inspired by going for a walk in a British woodland and then coming back into an urbanity.
Tell me how you're going to represent that in a dish, please.
So this is sous vide and then pan-fried wood pigeon, red cabbage puree, celeriac fondant, sat on a bed of rainbow chard, brought together with a little bonbon made of the pigeon and some mushroom sauce.
Tell me where the countryside meets the city on this dish, please.
The rainbow chard, the mushrooms, it's rustic. These are all earthy flavours to me. So the fondant, the sous vide, the way it's brought forward as, I suppose, something more city.
Where do you see this dish being presented?
Street food stall, fine dining restaurant. I can imagine this could be served anywhere.
Stefan's a man who loves to do things with lots and lots of elements, and this pigeon dish he's going to cook for us has loads of elements. Stefan is doing between 10 and 11 components for his dish. Running around the kitchen is not going to get the job done. I love Claire. Claire has definitely got a style, and that style is local British produce. She's a bit of a beachcomber forager. She is cooking on MasterChef, honestly, what she cooks at home, and it's great.
So I've called the dish home turf. Other people might call it serpent turf. My home turf is the flavours of Kent and Romney Marsh.
So today you've got ox cheeks in a herb pancake with monkfish in prosciutto on some pureed celeriac with chicory and a panisse.
What's a panisse?
So it's chickpea fritter.
Are you doing posh surf and turf?
I call it home turf. So I've got friends who are cattle farmers, so the ox cheeks kind of in tribute to that. And there was monkfish around, it came in on the boats when I kind of devised this dish. I would like to write a journal about living on Romney Marsh, which would include delicious recipes.
Not everyone goes through today. How do you feel about that?
Gutted.
Better make sure it's not you then, right?
Let's hope.
Claire is going for a plate of food which sounds to me as though lots of little things that she likes to eat. We have a piece of monkfish wrapped in ham. We have a braised ox cheek, which is then going to be served inside a herb pancake. I wonder if they really belong together. 30 minutes gone. 30 minutes gone, guys. Smells good. Mark is a fashion designer, and you can see that sort of creativity in his food. John, his dish may come from China, it may come from Korea, but you won't have seen a dish like it before, I can guarantee that.
Mark is taking some really classic French ideas, and then he's adding his own twist to them. We have a ballantine of chicken, and he's filled it with a mixture of Chinese sausage, lapchang,
Just
warm
means flat
chestnuts,
chicken, doesn't it?
some snow crab meat, and Japanese seaweed, and wrapped the whole chicken ballantine in rice, so it's like sushi. Then he's got a lollipop, a lovely thin layer of prawn puree, wrapped around a broccoli flower, coated in sesame seeds, and then deep fried. The whole
That
lot
sounds
is
quite good.
a classic dish, which is pomme alligots, potatoes and cheese. Can't wait to see what it looks like. I just hope it eats well.
Where does your inspiration for food come from?
Because I love traveling. I'm from Hong Kong, so I get to travel like so many Asian countries, like for example Japan, Korea, Thailand, like you name it. I also like to travel France when east meets west. Yeah.
How many times have you made this dish before?
Only one time, because I don't have much time to practice.
Where would this dish present itself?
In a restaurant, and you can try it with paying me instead of getting it for free here. Being safe won't keep you in competition at this stage for sure. It's good to be risky and then to gamble a bit, because I'm not like really technical, so I have to use other strength, which is my creativity.
30 minutes left, please. Tom has got a fascinating style where he uses European cookery technique and introduces Asian flavours.
His food looks glorious, it's exciting, and it's got skill.
So I'm really going to be pushing myself today, but I've done it at home. But as we all know, the pressure of the MasterChef kitchen is a little bit different.
Tom's cooking for us sous vide chicken breast with spring onions, ginger and sesame oil. On top of that, he's putting a Japanese seasoning called farikaki, dried fish roe. Inside it, there'll be seaweed, there'll be sesame seeds. So it's almost like a salt that goes across the top, like a Japanese salt. He's going to serve that with a deep fried ballantine. A popcorn flavoured bonito, or dried tuna. Then he's got sweet corn, which is going to cook with kombu butter. Kombu being a very, very thick seaweed from Japan. This is an extraordinary dish, and lots of things going on, but it is 3 ingredients. Chicken, seaweed, and sweet corn.
So I really want to write about food. The reason I chose chicken today was because a lot of the first books that I had iconic chicken recipes in them.
Where do your ideas come
from? All over the place. I might often go to Asian supermarkets, and I love to pick up things that I'm unfamiliar with and see what I can do with them at home.
Do you think you're different?
Yeah, I think so. I hope so. That's kind of what I want to show while I'm here.
You better behave yourself now. That's a relief.
Medea has shown herself to be a cook who loves to feed people. Every time we've eaten the food, we've absolutely loved it. It's been generous in spirit, generous in flavour.
She has spent time in the Middle East and Pakistan, and her food illustrates that beautifully.
It's quite a journey that I've made from just being a loving, caring, home cook, mum, and now being a semi-finalist.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile.
Made it this far. Oh my god.
You look to me like you're doing a dessert.
Yes, I'm the only one.
What is it you're making?
Tropical fruit and fresh cream layered cake with a passion fruit mango sorbet, and a curry coconut. Hopefully dressed beautifully.
And where is the inspiration for this dish coming from?
It goes all the way back 30-35 years. It's from one of my dad's best friends.
Absolutely.
It's a family favorite, but it's a favorite for millions in Pakistan, India and Bangladesh.
And if this was to appear anywhere, where would it be?
every single person.
We will be taking off soon. Be prepared.
Madia's the only person in the room making dessert. She's using tropical fruit, passion fruit, mango and pineapple. Whole twigs in front of the thing. The central extra looks pretty. It look like something you get for afternoon tea rather than acting as a dessert.
10 minutes, everybody.
I've practiced them before, so I feel good about this one.
Our semi-final, we've invited in a special guest, Anna Hall, chef proprietor of restaurant Myrtle. And she's going to help us to judge, because she understands what it takes for somebody to actually make that transition to a restaurateur.
She's worked in some of the best kitchens in the country, and she is now cooking to serious critical acclaim. I think a fantastic judge for these.
I'm so excited to be here today. The idea that I'm going to taste 5 dishes that a lot of love and passion and thought, hopefully, has gone into. I mean, who wouldn't be excited about that?
Listen up very carefully. You have 3 minutes.
I hope to see not too many ingredients on the plate.
Feeling like a lot going on? I'm stressed.
I hope to see ingredients that want to hold hands together.
The prosciutto's just not stuck to the monkfish, so it doesn't cook blaming their tools, does it?
No matter how we dress it up or how pretty a dish looks, if it doesn't taste nice, it's worthless.
60 seconds, please.
How's that looking, Medea?
It's looking alright
Is it?
for the time being. It needed to go in the fridge, but it didn't go in the fridge, but it's alright.
Oh.
Final touches. 10 seconds. Final touches. That's it. Time's up. Stop.
This looks a right mess.
Today is a big day, and there are big decisions to be made. We have invited a special guest in to help us make a decision. I think one of the most exciting culinary talents in Britain today has worked in Michelin-star kitchens in Paris, Dublin and London, was head chef for Gordon Ramsay, and now owns her own restaurant in Chelsea in London. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Hall.
Hello, Anna.
Hi, hello, Greg. Hi, John. I am so excited to try all of your dishes today.
Tom, we're ready if you are, please.
Front of house restaurant manager Tom has served sous vide chicken breast topped with chicken skin furikake, deep fried rolled chicken leg, corn puree, corn and seaweed butter, bonito tuna popcorn, wakame seaweed powder, and a soya chicken sauce.
That is a striking looking dish, Tom.
Do I like it? I love it. Your sprinkling of seasoning across the top of the chicken breast is inspired. Chicken breast is beautifully cooked. The corn puree is smooth and silky. The sauce reduced with soy, a little bit of sake, so slightly sweet and salty. I've got no complaints at all.
I could eat my body weight in popcorn. I love it. This bonito flavour that is on it is absolutely delicious. The skill of your perfectly cooked chicken legs, then rolled, is a lovely addition. For an amateur cook, this is a very impressive.
It is such a majestic dish in look, texture and flavour. If I saw it in a smart restaurant, I would be impressed.
Thank you. I feel amazing right now. Couldn't have done that dish any better.
say I've got a good feeling about this one.
Would you join us, please, Claire?
Policy advisor Claire is serving what she calls
Welcome to
home
PUBG
turf.
Mobile.
A herb pancake filled with ox cheek, monkfish wrapped in prosciutto, braised endive, hummus or fried chickpea flour, celeriac puree, and gremolata.
Everything on here, I think, is cooked really, really well. You have the soft monkfish in the pan, which is just slightly crispy. Your celeriac puree, I think, is divine. Really rich, still woody. Really love the flavour of that pancake. But the ox cheek and the pancake, with the monkfish and the ham, I'm finding them a bit too much.
We will be taking off soon. Be prepared.
It's really delicious, and the panisa are a lovely element in it. There's just one real element that I kind of feel doesn't belong there, which is the endive. But it's a lovely flavour. Thank you.
Your cooking of your monkfish is perfect. I'm really impressed by the softness of the ox cheek. You're showing really good touch and good technique throughout.
I took a risk. That was lovely feedback. Absolutely lovely.
Fashion designer Mark has made a chicken ballotine stuffed with snow crabs, water chestnut and Chinese pork sausage, wrapped in sushi rice, served with a broccoli, prawn and sesame lollipop, with pom aligo, crispy prosciutto and spring onion oil.
This is an incredibly exciting plate of food. That mash was silky smooth, super delicious. Cheese was amazing, so fabulous. Your lollipop,
Full of flavour, yum yum yum. I'd eat 10 of them. Gorgeous. But it didn't really relate to the ballantine. I didn't see how I would eat the two of them together.
Your chicken ballantine has gone dry. The crab is being lost amongst that very strong pork Chinese sausage. There's lots of work on here. I admire your intention. I love your invention, but it's not for me.
The sticky rice with the chicken is making that quite chewy. It's a hugely experimental dish, which is fine. I've got a feeling it needs some work.
It's definitely too risky, but I mean, I don't regret, and I received some feedback, so I know what to improve in the future.
Stefan, would you please, sir?
Look at this.
Architect
Fuck you, man.
Stefan is serving sous vide
Look.
wood pigeon topped with crispy shallots on a red cabbage puree, pickled beetroot, a celeriac fondant, a pigeon and pancetta bonbon,
Braised rainbow chard, charred onions filled with a chimichurri sauce, fried mushrooms, and a pigeon and red wine
Gross.
sauce.
It's a very memorable looking dish. I think it's fun. I clearly can see your personality on the plate here, and I love to see that.
I think you've managed to conjure up some really big flavour that I think actually does work together. I particularly love that celeriac. That is properly buttery and really soft. I love the bite you've got on those little shallots. I have, however, got two issues. One is your sauce is obviously split, and your bonbon feels grainy.
I like the pigeon breast with the red cabbage and the pickled vegetables, but the mushrooms aren't seasoned at all. The actual bonbon has gone dry, which is a real shame. When you're doing so many elements, it's always going to be really difficult to make sure everyone is absolutely right and belongs together.
This pigeon, it's exactly how I like to eat it. The red cabbage and the beetroot are earthy. However, there's a lot going on here. You've got to be able to rein it back.
It's still a bit of a blur. I mean, there was good bits, bad bits. I'm in a bit of a whirlwind. I think I gave myself a bit too much to do.
Finally, it's market researcher Madiha.
who serve tropical fruit and fresh cream cake with a passion fruit caramel sauce, a pineapple crisp, freeze-dried passion fruit dust, with mango and passion fruit sorbet on a curried coconut crumb.
Say curry coconut.
This mango sorbet is just divine. Your sponge is as light as a feather, as is your cream. That's not too sweet. Maybe it could be smarter, but I tell you what, I'd happily finish it and ask for seconds.
I loved all the tropical flavours. I thought they were really interesting. The sponge is super light but still moist, which is technically very difficult. The curried coconut is also very nice. There's a lovely little acidity coming through in your passion fruit caramel, but perhaps if you just used a cutter and made an individual little gâteau, wouldn't have to change anything flavour-wise, and it would just look a little bit more elegant.
The sorbet and the crumb I think is great, but I would have liked this to have been just a bit more dainty, because at the moment it's quite unwieldy and big.
I was happy that they enjoyed it, they liked the flavours, but could have been a bit more neater.
Incredible cookery. Anna, what's your overall feeling of it?
Very impressive. There's a few little slip-ups, but in general I see 5 people with some really great potential, and it makes it even more difficult that 2 of them have to go home.
Thank you very much for all your efforts.
Look, we know who's going, don't we?
Anna, absolutely delightful having you on here.
Brilliant. It's delighted to be here. I was blown away.
Anna, thank you very much for your comments. Thank you very much. Thanks, Anna. See you later. Semi-final day of the MasterChef kitchen, and it's been a big day, I have to say. We've got to take the soup. 3 of them are in the next round, 2 of them are going home. There definitely was a dish of the day, and that was Tom.
John, it was beautiful, and it tasted just as good as it looked. Tom is a star.
Tom goes through the next round.
Yeah, he's the standout cook, and then after that, it all gets a little bit tricky.
I love Mark's adventure, but today that dish, it wasn't practiced enough, it wasn't honed enough.
He is exciting, but if he's going to invent like that, he's going to also put in practice time. And a lot of it works, and some of it doesn't.
He's trying to do too much, but you can't deny his spirit. Claire, ox cheek was cooked really well, pancakes beautifully made. A piece of monkfish wrapped in ham is a very, very brave dish to do.
I admire all the technical cookery skill and the touch.
There's lots of things on a plate, but they didn't quite belong together. Medea made for us a cake flavoured with mango and pineapple. The cake was big. For me, that sorbet and the curried coconut crumb, I thought was wonderful.
We know what we're disappointed in, and it's not the cooking, it's the presentation.
Big decision. Who's going through with Tom and who's going home?
Yes, I could have done better, particularly with the presentation. Hope it doesn't cost me the competition.
To be honest, I'm not really sure I've done enough. You never know, we'll see. Can we cross again?
I would love to stay in competition. Absolutely.
She's gone though, isn't she?
You got to be in it to win it, so I tried.
He's gone.
If I was to make it through to the next round,
Blood splat.
I would be grateful to the judges. Best of luck to the competitors, but I want to make it through.
There are some talented cooks in this room, and you need to be very proud of what you've achieved to some point.
First person going through the next round.
Tom.
It's Tom. Very good, Tom. Congratulations. Not all of you can stay in the competition. The first person leaving us,
Stefan.
I think it's 2 but think so good through, isn't it?
Mark, love your invention. Thanks very much indeed. Thank you. Second person going through to the next round.
Claire.
It's Claire. Claire, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Medea, Stefan, we have one place left. The second person leaving us.
Stefan.
Stefan.
Yes.
Thank you very much for everything. Thanks, Stefan.
I feel sad. I was looking forward to the next potential stages, but not to be. Just tough competition.
I'm a little bit disappointed and upset for sure, but at least I made it to semi-final. I was like a baby before, but now, yeah, I've grown and I'm ready to fly.
Very, very well done. You are doing brilliantly well. We want to take your food up to the next level. We are sending you to one of London's leading restaurants, and you are getting your first taste of a proper professional kitchen.
Feels snacky.
Cables of it.
See again?
Because cables of it, it just keeps doing that.
So it's got wireless charging. Well, you won't charge quick enough, huh?
It's early morning, and Medea, Claire, and Tom are about to experience the intense pressure of their first professional restaurant service at Trivet in Bermondsey, South London.
I work front of house in a restaurant. Going into a professional kitchen, I
know what that
Now
stress
they're
and
going to
pressure
do
looks
this.
like, so hopefully that'll serve
If it
me
was
well.
during lockdown.
It's all very real now.
Oh, well.
This is one dream I've dreamt for the last 12 years.
So when's the next blubber programme on where it goes, oh, it's so beautiful, your style, your festivity, oh, lovely. It's a fucking dress. Muppet.
To be honest, I'm slightly terrified.
Yeah, I put it to one side. I've done it.
The semi-finalists will be working under chef patron Johnny Lake. Originally from Canada, Johnny studied physics and biology at university before having an unconventional introduction to the world of gastronomy.
John's hair as well.
Bless you.
Pardon?
Yes, please.
Actually started working at
If he wasn't sneezing so loudly, he would have heard me,
meals
darling.
where mainly other people could get out of the house and deliver them on a bike, and I thought it was so cool.
A passion for cooking ignited, Johnny retrained as a chef, then headed across the Atlantic where he cooked in some of the best kitchens in Europe. In 2005, Johnny was given an opportunity to combine his love of food and science when he was offered a job at the legendary Fat Duck in Bray during its formative years.
It was a very small team at the time, tiny kitchen, very intense. But I was really motivated, trying to learn as much as I could.
After 12 years as executive head chef, in 2019, he and head sommelier Isabel decided to step out on their own with Trivet, which opened to critical acclaim.
The food style of Trivet is very eclectic, drawing influences from all different cultures, using modern and old technique, trying to make the most interesting flavor combinations we can. Today, it's going to be hard.
Oh, that
it's
look.
going to be quite challenging for them. They got to try to stay focused and
No, I mean,
not
why,
get frustrated
but
and
the
throw
restaurants
everything out.
aren't open. So who are they cooking for? They normally have all the orders coming in.
Welcome to Trivet. Got 3 dishes to show you today and for you to replicate. They're all very important to me personally. They're all dishes that we developed for the opening menu. We can't be open to the public, so you're going to be cooking for our staff. They know these dishes inside and out. They know exactly how they should taste, how they should look. We're going to have a good time, okay? So just follow me. Thank you.
The contestants will have 3 hours to prepare their dishes for the lunchtime tasting menu for Johnny's team. Madiha will be responsible for a red mullet starter.
Don't you dare!
Served
Oh,
with braised
put you on a
artichokes
scratchy door.
and a
I've seen it
regional
out the
Tuscan
window.
pasta inspired by a trip to Italy.
Scratching the door for me.
Yeah, but every time you go out, she's there scratching the door.
Like noodle-like, that's something we wanted to kind of emphasize in this dish.
Madiha's first challenge will be to ensure the peachy pasta is cooked and served al dente.
It's going to be about 3 minutes. Everything happens quite quickly. Okay, so the timing is going to be quite important.
In the 3 minutes it takes to cook the pasta,
You're not just going to be doing this.
Madiha will have to braise the artichokes
How long do they take?
Not even a minute.
and grill the red mullet, which can burn in seconds.
So under the salamander, very intense heat, cook it quickly and it won't dry out. The cooking of it is very last minute and very quick. No darker than that. I think a lot of the challenge in service with that dish is in the timings. So that's 3 minutes. They're not soft, you know? Okay, it's still gonna have bite to
Marked
it.
a vehicle.
The peachy pasta must then be evenly coated in a Verjus butter emulsion.
These are all the components. To plate it, you gotta be quick, be deliberate, be confident. The difference between cooking a dish like this at home and cooking in a restaurant is that you've got all these multiple things that all gotta be cooked and warm at the same time. There you have it.
Wow.
So
I'm going to make that in a few
yes.
hours.
Do you feel confident? Think you can do that?
I'll try my best. Confidence is another thing. Wow. To be honest, I've never seen a star chef plating up in front of me. It's a beautiful looking dish, and I hope I pull it off. I don't do anything silly.
Madiha's first job is the painstaking task of filleting and deboning the red mullet.
I've never filleted a fish before. How many fishmongers does that for you? You need a telescope to pick these out. They're tiny. And the last thing I want is John and Greg saying, "Oh, you forgot to take out the bag."
Tom is taking on a main course of pigeon, which will be served with persimmon, a fruit popular in Southeast Asia.
Have you used persimmon before in desserts? So this is the first time I've ever used them in a savoury context. You want to get these sliced, seasoned, and just warm. They need to become a little soft.
The biggest challenge for Tom will be mastering cooking the pigeon over a 400-degree charcoal barbecue.
Are you comfortable with charcoal wood cooking? We'll soon find out. I've not done this before, but okay. It's not easy. They're going to have to cook each bird individually. It's going to be like less than a minute for each bird. Okay. We just want intense heat very quickly to kind of get the color and get that flavor to the outside of the pigeon. You cook it over, that flavor becomes very unpleasant. That's the kind of coloring you want. All the dishes are challenging, but if it was me, you want to be on the grill. That's what you want to do.
As well as getting to grips with the barbecue, Tom will have to juggle cooking 3 different garnishes. Comfy pigeon legs.
They're quite small. They're very delicate.
Kale leaves. And chaga root in spiced butter.
You know, normally in a restaurant, this dish would be put together by 2 people. One person cooking the meat, one person cooking the garnish. You're doing this all by yourself.
The persimmon fruit is served as slices infused with a smoked olive oil.
This is a gremolata that's quite sharp, quite bitter, but it's going to help with the rest of the flavors in the dish. Just a little bit of that there.
The dish is finished with a persimmon puree and a spiced pigeon sauce.
Just make sure you've got enough sauce on the plate, okay? That's going to be it. But the most important thing's got to be the cooking of that pigeon. Work in front of house, managing in quite a well-known chicken restaurant. I'm quite used to seeing the grills, but the birds that we cook on those grills are a lot different from the birds that we'll be cooking today.
So you work at Nando's there?
15 pigeons to get through. Lots of work to
KFC.
do. When you're prepping those birds, if
Well, his job title is front of house and manager. So, yeah.
It's similar to chicken, like the anatomy is all kind of the same, but it's a lot smaller, so it's a lot more fiddly.
Means he's on the drive-thru.
Claire will be responsible for the final course.
I've got some potato terrine. I'd never imagined I'd eat potato for dessert.
It's a dish inspired by Hokkaido potato, an ingredient Johnny discovered while on a business trip to Japan.
To be honest, it was amazing. Probably the best Japanese I've ever had. We knew we needed to do something with that.
The result was a baked potato meal furry, consisting of 4 technically challenging elements. The first is a delicate puff pastry, which has been made with the Hokkaido potato.
This is kind of how we want our puff pastry. It's quite important that you get the cooking right. Otherwise, you're going to end up with something instead of being kind of crunchy, it's going to be kind of chewy. Okay?
Each meal furry will need to be assembled to order.
This is a potato caramel. A normal caramel, but with potato puree in it. Our next component is ganache. Potato puree, sake, and white chocolate, which is pretty crucial. If it's too loose, you're going to end up with something that's going to collapse.
The meal furry is topped with a caramelized confit potato terrine.
There's so much technique going on there, and it's a lot of prep. If you don't get those elements right, your service is going to be a nightmare.
The final component is a sake and butter gelato.
One of the hardest bits in service is actually getting the gelato from the container, you know, into a nice shape, and then getting that onto the plate.
You make that look so easy.
Any questions at this point?
I think I just need to take it all in, really.
You'll have all your components ready. If you start trying to build this ahead of time, it's going to collapse.
I really like the idea of
So it could be
savoury foods being used out of context.
Potato,
It's my kind
What, the
of
creamy?
dessert.
All of it. That's
Claire is
potato.
rolling out the potato puff pastry. The once baked and
Caramel with
gives the milk
potato.
its structure.
Oh, so it's using potato as a flour.
challenging bit is getting the pastry right. Roll it properly, get it all to the same thickness. The cooking of it, to get all that where it needs to be, is quite time consuming. You need to have kind of a bit of patience there.
It's not really me, is it? It's all being precise and exacting. I'm much more random. This is when I burn myself, isn't it?
There's just 90 minutes until service. And Madiha is making good progress with her prep.
Finish on the fish, and then I will be going to go on the peachy pasta and roll it out. I hope, fingers crossed, everything will be ready to go.
Getting the pasta right, it's a technique in terms of rolling it without breaking it.
I like pasta, but I've rarely made pasta.
If you go too fast, you're gonna snap it. Or you're gonna get something really skinny in the middle and really fat on the end.
It's a delicate business.
They've got to make 11, 12 portions.
Come on.
That's gonna take them a while.
How many more I have to do?
How's it coming with the peachy?
I'm trying my best to make it equal sized.
Yeah, looks like it's not really skinny in the middle and fat on the ends and stuff, so just keep up with the speed, okay?
Make more pasta.
Yeah, have fun.
On the pigeon main, Tom's got all the birds prepped and has moved on to making a yogurt-based marinade for the crown.
So I'm not quite used to working with these quantities. I think this is probably the biggest mixing bowl that I've ever seen. Normally I'm just grinding things for maybe one or a couple of people.
But there's still a lot to do.
After this I've got to prep the chervil roux, prep the kale.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile.
Get ready. So it's going to be a busy day, I think.
And he's not the only one with a huge workload.
You got a few things going on at the moment, right? You need to manage these jobs.
Yes.
With the puff pastry still baking, Claire's now working on the potato caramel filling, which involves adding mash to melted sugar.
Mashed potato and sugar. Who knew? We could start a craze. Oops.
But achieving the perfect colour and texture on the potato puff pastry is proving to be a struggle.
We will be taking off soon. Be prepared.
No, really isn't cooking. Do you think that's done?
No.
It doesn't look done enough today.
Yeah, put it back. Put it back. Do you know that 3-4 minutes? And then we'll check it again, okay?
I'll feel better when all the puff pastry is out. It's frustrating.
Lydia, just so you know, it's 45 minutes till service, okay?
Right.
We've got to get a move on now, okay? Because you're the starter, right?
Yes.
All right.
With the clock ticking, Madiha's not even halfway through rolling out her 12 portions of peachy pasta.
I would say I'm a bit nervous.
Madiha with the starter at the moment, all the work she's doing is very good, but she hasn't started the sauce yet, which is a bit of a worry.
I'm going to start panicking in a minute.
Things are far more on track with Tom, whose pigeon is marinating, and he's moved on to preparing his garnishes.
I think everything's going to plan at the moment. I don't really know whether I'm 5 miles ahead or miles behind. Come back to me when service starts and it might be a different story.
Wow. After multiple attempts to perfect her potato puff pastry,
Yay. Thank God.
hurrah! Claire's finally been successful. But she still needs to cut it into 36 identical rectangles.
The layers are coming apart a bit. Really not going to plan. I thought I'd have made the gelato by now, but I haven't.
Still quite a bit to do for her, actually.
No.
with that course in particular, it's all about your mise en place being right.
It's not good stuff enough.
When you go into actual service, if it's not right at that point, there's not much you can do.
Oh.
It's 12:30 and the guests are arriving for lunch.
This is the first time we've been in a professional kitchen. This is a completely different level. This is a part of the competition I'm sure they've all been dreaming of. Is it going to be a dream come true, or is it going to be a nightmare?
With orders due in a matter of minutes, Madiha has finished rolling her pasta, but has only just started the Vajou butter sauce that will coat it.
We're really struggling for time, so you need to concentrate on this now. Emulsifying all that butter into the sauce takes a while. The guests are seated. It's not an ideal position to be in right now.
I am under pressure because I'm a little bit late. That sauce needs to come down.
The fact is, this is a restaurant service. We're not feeling the pain public. They're feeling somebody far more critical. The team.
I know what to expect from these dishes. Whoever holds their nerves best, they'll probably do the best.
The first orders are in, but Madiha is still racing to finish her butter sauce.
We can delay slightly, but not a lot.
Timing is imperative. One little slip up and it knocks the rest of the service out. Can't do that. Can't afford to do that.
We're quite behind. We have to go now.
Yes.
Okay, right now I need to do 2 and 2. Okay? You know what to do. Let's go.
With Madiha finally ready for service, she now has just 3 minutes to ensure her pasta is cooked al dente, as well as braising her artichokes, and perfectly grilling the red mullet.
Keep an eye on it.
It's bubbling up.
Yeah?
Yep.
Is it looking okay?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Have a look underneath. Okay, I put it back under just for a minute. 30 seconds more. I mean, we're quite late. But I think it's just really important, even though you're late, the food's got to be right. That looks okay. Needs a little more care, okay?
Yeah.
A lot to kind of monitor right now, okay?
This is about a bowl of pasta at fine dining level.
Just work as quick as you can, okay? Keeping things hot.
Madiha's food is lovely, but it's big. I'm hoping Madiha is going to learn the beauty of a little bit of minimalism, a little bit of style.
You're happy with the fish? It's cooked okay?
Yes, I'm happy with the fish.
Service, please. So it's 2 more now, yeah?
Yep, 2 more, okay. I'm used to cook a lot at home. It's never been time pressured. I've been running around like a headless chicken. It's not easy.
They've done a great job with the fish. Sometimes it's very easy to overcook the fish. I like the texture of the peachy pasta, slightly more al dente than a normal pasta, which I really enjoy. And the artichokes just kind of finished it off.
Oh, wow. My fish is beautiful. Crispy skin, flaky flesh. For Madiha, this is really dainty. This is a very pretty, smart dish.
There's no bones in there. The pasta has all been rolled by hand and it all looks consistent. She's done a great job.
So you've got it now, just a bit more speed, okay?
On the main course,
Let's go.
Tom also has his first orders for the pigeon.
Tom is going to experience one of the most difficult cooking processes known to man, the barbecue.
It's not like an oven where you can just set it to what you want.
We can't burn the outside.
Keep moving it. That's it.
This is pigeon perfection.
You kind of want that color you got, but all over, right?
Looks okay, or?
Okay, you got it.
While his first pigeon crowns rest, he now needs to juggle cooking the kale.
Rest the fucking dead and cold. What do they need to rest for?
Garnishes.
You underestimate how much there is to do right at the last minute.
I think it'll get better.
Let's do pigeon, and then we're going to start plating.
With the pigeon crowns ready to carve, Tom's about to find out if they're cooked to chef's exacting standards.
cooking on that pigeon looks really good.
Thank you.
Let's gather everything else and we come up to the pass.
He's made it to the pass,
Raise both hands if you can.
but now has to present all 8 elements clearly.
Looks good, Tom, but quick as you can. Okay, yeah, that works.
Tom is a restaurant manager. He understands front of house. So you'll understand how important it is for the chef to make sure every single dish is absolutely perfect.
And then duck.
Well, today we're serving pigeon.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
That would help. Service, please.
So that was great, Tom. Okay, just like that again.
Yeah.
But faster.
Oh, how lovely. It's not easy to be in a professional kitchen, especially over the grill. The grill is absolutely roasting hot.
Thank you.
The whole thing was put together very nicely.
The pigeon breast. I think for an amateur, it's amazing that someone could do this. Great job.
A huge amount of work. The persimmon, it's sweet, going beautifully with the game bird. The pigeon breast is cooked beautifully, and the eggs as soft as you like. That is lovely. Well done, Tom. We've seen some fantastic desserts from Claire. She's great on one plate, but can she replicate it and make sure every single dessert is absolutely perfect?
It is really tricky to be this dainty in this environment.
She has all 4 components for the meal for you standing by.
Never made ice cream like this before.
And is checking on the sake gelato.
That's good.
Yeah, it smells like ice cream. I can smell the sake.
With the sake gelato churned and ready, she can start stacking the layers.
Oh,
Try to use the spatula as much as you can. You need to be more efficient with your movements.
Yeah.
Okay?
Millefeuilles assembled, Claire now has the challenge of creating the perfect rocher of sake gelato.
The gelato, to get that to look consistently right, takes a lot of practice. Okay, you happy with those, yeah?
they're not fantastic.
Okay.
I'm going to improve.
So 2 more now.
It may be delicious, but it could be more dainty.
That's really good. Whoever did it was brilliant because it looks quite difficult to execute, so I think it was really good.
The texture was crisp and creamy. It was like a dessert from trivet.
Ooh. Isn't that beautiful? The finishing pastry is wonderful. It's really delicate. Nicely done.
Back on the starters, Madia is struggling to keep up with the fast kitchen pace.
I'm just plating this table to catch up a bit. She's got the rhythm down, but it's just needs to be a lot faster.
Doing something which I've never done before in life, so it's a learning curve and a very steep one.
Service, please.
It's really rustic cooking, yet not rustic at all.
There's also no let up for Tom on the pigeon main.
The cooking's good. We just need to find a way to speed it up.
It's really fast paced, but I'm enjoying it. Just want to get it all out perfectly now.
Wait.
Service, please.
That's better. All like that.
Perfect, thank you.
On dessert,
That's it.
Claire's getting to grips with the delicate assembly of her millefeuille layers.
Easy, easy. That's it.
But she's yet to master the perfect gelato rocher.
Oh, come on.
Why don't you help her? Because she's not supposed to help.
Service. I'm annoyed, I'm frustrated that I'm not being efficient, and I could be more efficient.
With Johnny's help,
Service, please.
Media's starter orders are back on track.
You're going to get ready on the last 3. They're going to be your best 3 plates, okay? Sure. And you're going to do those. How's it feel? You're almost there.
You're an absolute pleasure to work with.
We're not done yet. So pass on each plate, okay?
Yes.
Then all the artichokes, then all the fish. 1, 2, 3.
Yes. I just got a gist of how it feels to be in a professional kitchen. It's not easy.
Welcome to PUBG Mobile.
Service for your plates. You did really well. Okay.
It was a reality check. It wasn't easy, but it was fun. It was enjoyable. I learned a lot.
On mains, Tom's also got his last pigeon orders at the pass.
You're only as good as the last one, yeah?
Amazing that I managed to put food up like this. Just awesome.
Oh, fucking joy.
We will be taking off soon. Be prepared.
You did very well. Not an easy dish. Well done. Thank you.
So this is a dish that normally 2 people are preparing. 2 have done it by myself, I think. I'm not too bad over that.
With service drawing to a close, it's Claire's last chance to impress Johnny with her rochers.
So 3 rochers and then we'll put onto the plate. Let's go out on a high. That one looks a lot better than last one. Keep going. Stay with it right to the end. Okay? Just look really good.
Wow. I just don't want to lay down somewhere.
After a grueling 7 hours in a professional kitchen, the amateur's first restaurant service is finally over.
Overall, considering that none of the 3 have ever cooked in a commercial kitchen before, I think they did amazingly.
We've really enjoyed it. The contestants have been amazing. Every different dish we've had is done beautifully.
What a wonderful way to start the semi-finals. I'm really proud of it. I think right now there'll be a mixture of elated and absolutely exhausted.
It is intense. If you'd have told me a couple of weeks ago that I'd be sending out food like that, I don't think I would have believed you.
Adrenaline is running all over the place at the minute. It's been a wonderful experience. There's a bit of a time pressure. The service is a little bit late, but it wasn't a disaster.
I knew it was going to be jolly tough, but I've learned so much today. It's been an incredible experience.
Next time, the semi-finals continue, and the second group of 5 will need to impress legendary chef Marcus Waring.
A professional bit of cookery. Wow.
For a chance to cook in a professional kitchen.
Yeah, we got money and a tobacco.
To follow 2 pigeon. This is an absolute baptism of fire. I mean, this is a very
I can't believe how much it's smoking.
beautiful food.
Hang on.
Steve, I can't believe. I know for a fact it's gone through at least 60 grams. But then he brought.
MasterChef continue.
No, thanks.
Because he couldn't be asked to wait to go to town to go to a shop.
With 8,000 claims of sexual harassment and abuse in schools, the Education Secretary says it's shocking and abhorrent. Now, Frida laughed, a giant container ship that has blocked the Suez Canal for almost a week.
Miss Millen's job.
Blue screen, journalize it!
Smile, no fielding.
Shiva!
She's going to end up going out during the evening and staying out till fucking bedtime. to have a lot of sleep, won't she?
Quick picture of their buzzers. Joe goes.
Thank you.
Noel goes. And Hannah goes. And Alan goes.
We apologise for the loss of the picture. We're doing everything we can to get it back. In the meantime, the programme will continue in sound only.
Does anybody want to get changed before we...
No. I'm more than happy like this for the show. I'm just half expecting to lift this up and I'm on 8 out of 10 cats.
There are some pictures you may want to look at.
Oh, right, okay.
You're going to have to cut down on your fagging it. It's every half hour, Damon.
Spanish funeral in a minute.
I'm 35 monkeys and I'm able to do that. Right.
You're in and out, and then the cat's in and out, scratching, up, down. It's just been up on the window. It's just stressful.
What mistake did Picasso make when he painted this?
He put lots of glue on the frame.
Yeah, they can't get a
Where's the coffee?
Oh, no! Picasso's done the gluey frame thing again.
He left 2 snooker referees holding it.
Does anybody know what the picture is?
It's Marie Therese Walton.
Yes.
She was underage, but no, I don't know.
She was 17.
Yeah.
She was underage for what?
For doing what he was doing with her. He was 45 when they met. She's Picasso's mistress. But when he painted this, who didn't know that she existed in his life?
Oh, what?
Yeah, so the mistake was, even with the picture looking like that, his wife, Olga Koklova, recognized that it was somebody else.
Is that a mistake? An affair?
Oh, my mistake.
No, the mistake was painting of your mistress before she knows that there's somebody there, so that would be the mistake. So it's like going, oh, I'm going out to dinner with my mistress. Oh, did I not say? So that's Marie Therese Walter on the left there, and that is his wife, Olga Koklova, and he was married at the time.
He picked her up, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I reckon I'm going to Picasso. I don't know. It's not
Basically, he wasn't a nice guy.
Oh, no, it's a prick biscuit.
Yes.
Prick biscuit.
Yeah, on that. Of the 7 most important women in his life, 2 killed themselves and 2 went mad. It's not a good track record.
No.
I've got a picture of La Veuve, which is the dream, which also has Marie Therese.
It's also got his cock on her face.
Yes, yes. If you look at the one on the right, that's his penis on top of her head.
Isn't that part of her head? No. Well, it was when he put it there.
Yeah.
Did he say, yeah, that's the penis?
I think it's that she's moving it, enjoying it.
That's terrible pandemic. You get so stiff in the neck.
Stiff, did you say?
Stiff in the neck.
She's on a plane, doesn't it? Very small seat, and he's the row behind putting his cock in.
This is the kind of art criticism you rarely see.
This is still maybe used in economy.
So there's a celebration party for Henri Rousseau, and he wanted to pretend to celebrate his genius, but actually he intended to mock him, but it backfired, because actually it was a rating success and it catapulted Rousseau into the spotlight. But that party was an example of a digger, and that's what it was known as in those days, and it was a cruel joke, because Digger himself, all those lovely pictures of
He was up front, wasn't he?
He was not nice. He was anti-Semitic, he was a misogynist, he referred to the ballet dancers as monkey girls, he was not nice. And it's exceptional to us, but at that time with the same name, you've got Renoir, and you've got Manning, and Toulouse-Lautrec, and Degas, and they all go to this party.
Insane.
And there's, yes,
Yeah. When's the first person to say cheese, and then just change everything? It seems to be no one was...
It used to
cheese or something cheery and get a smile out of it.
Isn't French for cheese fromage?
So you'd be like fromage.
Fromage.
Yeah. Or a little short cheese, like
What
brie.
about brie? He might say brie.
Camembert.
Come on.
Baby bow. The thing about Rousseau though, Rousseau was very nice, wasn't he? He was naive, he was a postman, he carried on working in the post office. He was a Sunday painter, they called him.
Yeah.
Just paint a weekend, he was a family man. And he was, he was quite naive, but his stuff's actually useful, isn't it?
And it never occurred to him that they might be taken over. It just never occurred to him. But in fact, it worked out.
He painted those beautiful jungle scenes, which
I
were
think it's
exquisite.
astonishing. Now then, name a self-insertion artist.
Someone who does something about themselves, self-portrait.
Okay, in what way?
Someone who puts themselves into like the background of a painting.
Yes, and there are loads and loads of examples of it.
Yeah.
And it mostly is in Renaissance art. You get a great big picture and they think, I'm going to put myself in it. So if you look at the one on the left there, that is Botticelli's Adoration of the Magi. And the camp guy in the bottom right, that is supposed to be Botticelli, the one who's looking out going, my picture, I do this.
That's the baby Jesus. And he's like not even looking. Like he's just like, g'day.
Yeah. I see that, Jesus, I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you think that's deliberate? He's trying to make himself detached from the proceedings. Because his costume's not right either. He isn't coloured himself in.
No, he does look like he's got a that's a flash. So pleasing with that, doesn't it? Let's have a look at another one. This is Rembrandt's The Night Watch, and it's quite hard to see, but in the detail, so you can just see the one on the right, you see the little guy looking over the shoulder of the soldier. You can just see one eye and a flat cap. That's Rembrandt.
Like Liza Minnelli at the Oscars.
We call it The Night Watch because it got such the actual title is The Militia Company of District 2 under the command of Captain John Bannicock, which is actually known as The Night Watch.
That was what QI was originally called as well.
It's really quite big, and they couldn't get it all in. So they cut quite a big bit off. Like about 2 million quid's worth.
Imagine cuts and getting something by your boss.
It's not going to go. I can't see it, just comes in. You've got to have him on form.
The other one that is extremely famous is the Arnolfini portrait by Yamanai, possibly touch or reflected in the mirror.
The way that it's got the fish eye effect.
Do you know the story of the ancient Greek sculpture? I don't know how to say it. I've only ever read it, so I don't know how to say
That's
it.
fine, don't worry.
So Phidias.
Yeah.
And he apparently did, as I think, 3rd or 4th century BC, the sculptor of Athena did she had a shield, Battle of the Amazons, and a likeness on the shield.
Okay.
Which was desecration, and he
Yeah.
got jailed for self-insertion.
Here's the weird thing, is that self-insertion, I can say this very carefully, self-insertion appears to be something only boys do. Ironically, that women artists tend not to do.
You know I'm a boy, right?
Yes. I always look at you and see the cusp. Why might that be? Why is it a boy thing?
It's been a lot of times only the boys painted.
It's the boys only did big group compositions. Fundamentally, when women were allowed to paint, they painted in smaller rooms in little salons.
Also portraits.
Also portraits.
It's hard to insert into a self-portrait.
Yeah. There's not a lot of room for it. Yeah.
It's absolutely bought it,
Lovely and cozy now, though.
Citroën sponsors Primetime Omlet, a French car that speaks your language.
Jenny's chocolate orange isn't square like other chocolate, as we are a nation of roll-smashing, cheese-chasing, Jenny-watching Jenny watchers. And we salute you all. Jenny's chocolate orange, deliciously unsquare. What's that new biscuit bar?
My heart burns for your spice and all things nice. Like fast relief from heartburn.
What are you doing?
Reni Dual Action turns excess acid into water and forms a protective barrier for fast, effective relief from heartburn and indigestion. Reni, fall back in love with food.
When you bet with Betfred, we want to make sure that you do it responsibly. And we have a range of tools to help you do that. Deposit limits can help you control the amount you spend. Reality check can give you regular updates on how you do it. And timeouts will allow you to take a break. For more information, tips and tools to help you gamble responsibly, speak to our staff in shop or visit betfred.com/responsible gambling.
Marked a location.
The delicious triple cheeseburger, just $2.19 from the McDonald's Saver menu. It's the taste you love, triple.
You got me falling down and down. You got me spinning round and round. Loving good and loving true. In a world blue. World blue. Crazy, crazy over.
The Skoda Kamiq, our compact SUV.
At Hasbro, we launch dozens of Monopoly games every year. We did most of our testing at our headquarters.
Now we have testing through Teams.
It's enabled us to open up to the entire world.
Different cultural backgrounds have a different understanding of a game.
It's a new way for us to look at how we go forward in the future.
I use the AJ Bell Uninvest platform. It gives me the security and control to look after my finances. Started off with just a normal stocks and shares ISA. I would definitely recommend AJ Bell Uninvest. It's very clear, it's very simple to use. It's quite empowering to see our money be able to improve our home. We work hard for our money and we want it to work hard for us.
Get investing in your future with a stocks and shares ISA from AJ Bell Uninvest.
Mandy needs to get her own motor. This is her fella. Bodywork's amazing, but not a lot going on under the bonnet, so we ain't going to be much help getting her first car. She needs Cinch. Cinch? Cinch. Cinch lets you buy a quality check used car online. No haggling, free home delivery, and a 14-day money-back guarantee to make sure you've made the right choice. Kids, sometimes we don't, do we? Nice one, Mandy. You're in the driving seat now, Britain.
These are not just hot cross buns. These are officially the best hot cross buns. Rich, melt in the mouth, M&S extremely chocolatey buns, bursting with milk and white chocolate chunks. Ooh, and these are offering uniquely spiced luxury buns with Rostisa currants and lemon peel. Those buns. These are not just hot cross buns. These are award-winning M&S hot cross buns.
You're just going to feel a little prick, okay? Slow start to the year.
Well, you can count on Dave to keep you laughing and not toasting. With the BAFTA award-winning Misadventures of Ramesh Ranganathan. I love it so far. How can you not? Oh my god. Thursdays at 10, new to Dave.
Away, man, macchiato franco.
Citroën sponsors Primetime Monday. A French car that speaks your language.
Have a guess if you looked at the work featured in major permanent collections around the world. It's 5%. It's a few. They did a survey in 2011 at the National Gallery, 2,300 works, and the review revealed there were 11 women artists.
Well, I'm assuming that's women's fault.
Yeah.
We should just get.
We should insert ourselves.
Yeah, you know, maybe just do better paint.
Yeah.
You are Donald Trump.
I'm curious to know how it feels to be on your last show. This is a very famous poster from 1989. Less than 5% of the artists in the modern art sections are women, but 85% of the news are female. So the best way to get yourself into a permanent collection of your woman, take your clothes off.
And it took a gorilla to point that out.
Yes. Of course, it isn't just in art. So Alfred Hitchcock self-inserted himself into all his movies. I love this one. This is from the movie Lifeboat, and he's in the advertisement. There he is. And you get it in literature as well. You get Dante in the Divine Comedy, you get Chaucer in the Canterbury Tales. It's not uncommon for people to put themselves into their own books. It is most common in what's called fan fiction, where you get something called a Mary Sue character. This is where an author makes a character based on themselves really heroic. So this is by a woman called Paula Smith in 1973.
I mean, it's not good. No, like in London we've only got 5%.
Yeah. She's a fan of Star Trek, so she wrote a parody story called Trek's Tangle. There's a character in it called Mary Sue, and those in fan fiction are these kind of characters where you've self-inserted. But here's the thing about it: the character usually helps to save the day, and then having done so is rewarded by some kind of sexual encounter with one of the main characters. I have written 25 books, and so far had no sex in any of them, and I'm going to sort that out.
Get yourself insert.
Self-insertion on your personally unregarded, self-indulgent narcissist.
I'm so stupid that we're back at it on episode 4. Still looking over there. That was weird, man.
Who is wearing the pants in this picture?
That's Abraham Lincoln, is it not?
Why is he not wearing the pants in this picture?
Oh, it's not good. Like it's Photoshop. Oh no, painting shop.
Painting shop. Okay, so there's a very, very famous portrait of the president, Abraham Lincoln. But in 1957, there was a photojournalist called Stefan Laurent, and he was getting together pictures of Abraham Lincoln for a book rather cunningly titled Lincoln, a picture story of his life. When he noticed that Lincoln had a mole, and in this picture it's on the wrong side of his face, and he knew that because Lincoln's head appears on the far side of the bill. There it is, and the head has been reversed. And this is a very early forerunner of Photoshop. Interestingly, the body that of this vehemently pro-slavery. So the body of somebody who's very pro-slavery was being used for the portrait of a man who in the end managed to abolish slavery.
It was the Russians.
What?
The Russians were sick of it.
Yes, I think you're right, and we know that from reading Lincoln's tweets.
Yes.
So it's a composite picture done by an artist called Thomas Hicks. He's not wearing the pants because it's nothing to do with his body. But manipulating images is one of the obvious things. So 1939 is the photograph of King George VI, the Canadian Prime Minister, and the Queen Mother, and the Canadian Prime Minister wanted to use it for an election poster, and he thought he'd look stronger and more the man in charge if the king wasn't in the picture, so he was just removed.
Looks like a really easy game of spot the difference.
Wonderful 1942 picture of Mussolini on a horse, and he thought he didn't look butch enough because there was a guy holding the horse, so the handler is, I don't know, gone, just disappeared entirely, as that Mussolini looked a bit more butch.
So this is the opposite of this self-inserting.
Yeah, and in some cases, actual elimination. As a very famous photo of Stalin with his secret police official, Nikolai Yezhov.
Not so secret.
Well, he fell out of favour, he was executed.
Oh, I think it was a river, sorry.
But he's not gone to the picture of the Chinese one with
Someone else.
what, like Mickey Mouse? Something interesting? No, it's not good. Yes.
This is
Copenhagen Sands by Henrik van Antonissen. And in 2014, the Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge was cleaning it. And they suddenly went, my lord, there's a whale. The whale had been painted over, probably in the 18th, 19th century, because they wanted to make the painting more saleable. And people go, I don't want a dead whale.
That was painted by a woman and that's her self-insertion. We can't self-esteem, you know.
I like to imagine that painting was painted by a whale.
By a whale.
Self-insertion.
So it's like,
Standing on that whale.
yes. In fact, curiously,
Whale jockey.
whales that were beached at that time, all kinds of use could be made of the blubber and of the oil, so they were a valuable resource. So that person would have been thinking, ooh, hello, you know.
Unless that was one of his shoes.
So when I get ready for this show, I think I've thought of everything, and the possibility of a small man with a very large shoe had not.
Another whale behind that whale, they might have a pair of whales.
I was putting the slippers on, there was a whale there, I inserted my foot in the blow. It's an easy mistake to make.
Okay, close your eyes, please, all four of you. What is the pinkest thing that you can picture?
Oh. The pink elephants on parade and that
In Fantasia.
Yeah.
I love that. That's very good, Joe.
My own soul.
Alan, pinkest thing you can think of?
I'm not giving you my first two answers. I'm going to say pig.
A pig? Oh, yes, that's nice. It's nice. Anna, what's the pinkest thing you can picture?
When you go into a kid's store, the girls' side. That's all.
The girls' comic show.
Yeah, it's so horrible, isn't it? All my daughters went through a disgusting pink phase that they fortunately have now come out of after 30 years. So there's a colour called the pinkest pink, and I will show it to you. That is the pinkest pink.
That is the world's biggest hubba bubba.
It is a colour produced by an artist called Stuart Semple. He has banned another artist from using it. He's banned Anish Kapoor. So Anish Kapoor, you might remember, made the Omlet Tower in 2012.
Yeah.
Stuart Semple is an artist, and he produced the pinkest pink in response to the fact that Anish Kapoor had a paint called the Blackest Black, or Vanta Black, and he has got it scored. And Stuart feels that no artist should have exclusive use of a particular colour. It is an amazing black. What it does is it absorbs 99.96% of all light that hits it, so it makes things look like a sort of hole.
Like a black hole.
Yeah, it was designed for the military, and Anish Kapoor managed to get exclusive rights to it. Stuart Semple thought it was outrageous. So he sells this paint, the pinkest paint, but you have to sign a piece of paper when you buy it, testifying that you are not Anish Kapoor. It says here you are not Anish Kapoor, you are in no way affiliated to Anish Kapoor, you are not purchasing this item on behalf of Anish Kapoor or an associate of Anish Kapoor.
That's brilliant.
It is amazing. Anish Kapoor did get hold of some, and he painted his middle finger with this pinkest pink. He's posted it on Instagram.
I thought you were going to say self-insertion.
Imagine if you self-inserted and it came out that pink colour.
It needs to have exclusive rights over a colour.
Well, that is the point that Stuart Semple is so angry about. And he sells these on his website in a 4-pack set. There's yellowest yellow, greenest green, and loveliest blue. But all of them you have to sign a thing saying you're not Anish Kapoor.